Hey, this is Tyler with T-Jack Survival. I'm here with my friend Josh from ReadyMan, and we decided to take a break and talk a little bit about power and its importance. So stay tuned. Okay guys, so one thing you don't see when we're out here filming is all the crap behind the camera, okay? All of the power supplies, all of the cameras, all of the phones, all the crap that needs electricity.
It's a lot of gear, and it is a lot of power that's required to run all that stuff.
I dare say it's the Achilles heel of my existence when it comes to filming stuff. As an example, I was in the Colombian jungle last year with Tops Knives at Bushcraft Global. When I got down there, about a week and a half into filming, I was starving for electricity. My Canon that I had at the time had slurped up almost all the batteries I had available to me, and I had a Goal Zero solar panel that I swam across the river, put it on a stick. 3 hours later, I swam across the river, moved the stick. 3 hours later, I swam across the river, moved the stick. And that whole day, I was able to charge up one battery.
Wow.
The epic fail on my part was not knowing that if any piece of that specific type of solar panel got shade, the whole thing didn't work.
Wow.
So all I was really getting was the juice that was residual out of the Sherpa that I had that I was trying to recharge. So I eventually had to just make do and just barely finished off filming with the juice that I had.
So with that kind of panel, it's got to be full sunlight, direct
100% sunlight
the entire time?
Or nothing.
Man.
So I researched and went looking for a company and a solar panel type that wouldn't create that issue for me that I could use in the future. One thing I came up with is the PowerFilm company. I had used them prior to this time in the military, but I didn't realize the fact that it was essentially an array of little baby solar panels, which means that if I have shadows move across it, or if I only have half of it there, I'm still getting electricity, I'm still getting charging. Plus, these are ultra light. They're about a quarter to a half the weight of the Goal Zero, the Goal Zero stuff that I've been using prior.
And this thing looks pretty small and compact. I mean, that's
a
not
new
a lot
thing
of
that they sent
space.
me.
Okay.
It's called the Lightsaver. It's for something like the size of a cell phone, an iPad, or in my case, the camera. I'm using a Sony a7S II and a Sony a6300. They both use this battery. This is a Wasabi charger. The reason why that's relevant is this. I can plug this little guy right in here, and I can plug this guy into the back of this solar panel. Now, as you can see, obviously the solar panel is not rolled out, but you can see I'm getting recharging. Okay, I'm getting juice. Because this super lightweight here, I'm gonna figure out how many milliamp hours. I haven't memorized, but it's got milliamp hours available to it. What I've done is this cable will work for all of my audio stuff, like the earphones I use when I'm filming behind the camera, the batteries, that kind of stuff. And then I will throw an iPhone cable in there. That'll run my iPad while I'm using my drone, that type of filming related stuff. And it'll give me the availability to get power. The other thing I like about this, the main thing I like about this is I have power even in the shade when it's rolled up. And if I'm not using it, it can be recharging itself. And if I'm moving into an area and I just put it on my backpack, it'll be charging while I'm moving. It can charge the phone while I'm moving. This is not a super powerful system. This is the lightest system they make that I know of. I've got 3 of these panels. I've got a giant 60-watt panel I use to run ham radio. I've got another one that folds up and rolls out about this big that was an old prototype I've had for a long time from the military a long time ago. But as you can see, you just roll this little rubber band thing off the bottom here, and then that's it right there.
That's all it is to it, huh?
Yep. Wow. You can still see the lights on there because we just had electricity to it. And actually, the reason you're seeing a light is even though I'm in the shade, I'm getting enough sunlight to give it power.
Really?
Okay?
Even with this amount of shade,
Yeah.
it's still getting juice.
It's still getting juice. So
That's
that's why you see
fantastic.
that right there. And then there's an input, which is really cool in my opinion, because what I can do is when I get home, if I haven't left this in the sun, I'm getting ready to go somewhere.
Yeah.
I can just plug this in, stick it into my wall or computer or whatever.
And pre-charge it,
Yeah, it
essentially.
pre-charges the batteries. Then all I have to do is keep this open and sustain the charges. And then it's got little hooks on it, so you can, I mean, what do you think that weighs?
Oh my gosh.
It's less than my iPhone.
Yeah, I mean, it's ounces. And let's be honest, you know, we may not all be powering cameras and stuff, but I don't know how many times I've been walking around in the woods and, you know, cell phone battery just tanks.
Especially when you are in the woods, your cell phone has a higher RF output, meaning it uses more batteries faster, right?
Yep.
So unless you put it on airplane mode when you're really in the heart of the backcountry, you're going to drain your battery quick. And this can be a great bug out addition, a great thing for your cell phone, something if you're just a student that wants to have power. I know I almost never plug my iPhone into the wall because I use it as an alarm clock. I watch movies on it, I listen to books on tape, plug it into my car. So I never plug it in.
Yeah.
So what I'll end up doing is I've got an Anchor battery that I use, or I've got this lightsaber that I use to plug in. I can just stick this up on my dash while I'm in a building.
Yeah.
You know, that way it's not charging off my car because you're not going to get
Yeah,
juice
that'll
when you
kill
turn
your
it off.
battery, yep.
Yeah. So it's fairly simple. It's kind of a no-brainer. It's got the USB output. The what is this? A micro USB?
I think so. Yep.
Don't quote me on that one, but it's got the input. It's got a little light there that tells you the battery percentage, 90 to 100, 50 to 90, and so forth. And then there's an error or overheated spot. No battery should ever be in excessive amounts of heat. They get expansion issues, and this will warn you if that's the case. So anyway.
No, and this thing is really cool. This is the first time I've seen it, but I'm just thinking as a piece of EDC, you know, because let's face it, our cell phone is kind of our lifeline to the world,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
When that thing goes, you could be,
done.
up the creek without a paddle. So having this, when you may not have access to other forms, I mean, I don't know how many times they're like, hey, who has an Android charger? And it's like, oh, we're all iPhones, and now.
Yeah,
Here, it doesn't matter. You've got your own gear.
And you can use this little rubber band to put whatever charger you want on it.
Cool.
You know, it depends on how you want to rig it. So the reason that I started this video today is because I was thinking earlier about the flooding that's happening in Houston right now. So down in Houston right now, they've got 2,000 plus something people trying to make phone calls and rescues for help. What do you do when your phone's dead? You're done.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, this isn't going to work as great in the rain, but it'll work just fine on a window. It'll work just fine even though it's rolled up because you have your battery. It gives you that extended amount of time until you can get more power and go from there. And for me, this is a great way to keep my camera running in crazy places where I don't have power. Honestly, the Achilles heel of adventure filming is, in my opinion, power.
Yeah,
that's
100%.
the one thing that's
100%.
It's easy to get a bunch of SD cards. It's really hard to have buckets of really expensive batteries, especially when you can just plug. You kill the first battery, you plug it into this, you drive on and continue with what you're filming.
Yeah, great system. I think that's a brilliant solution to a very common problem.
Hi guys, hopefully this little hack is valuable to you. If you're interested in PowerFilm, I'll leave the link down below. Contact them. Ask them whatever you want to ask them. Hopefully this is valuable to you. If it was, please subscribe, and thank you for watching.